Hello, hello. Just setting up le computer. That was my best French accent ever, that. Can I just tell you? So, let's have a look. Oh, there's loads of you here already saying hello. Just hang on, let me catch up. So that's Max and Julie. I love the way she calls me boss. Yeah, Spanner might turn up soon. Hiya, Brenda. Hi there, Maureen. Who's that? I'm too far away from my computer. Hang on. Mick Ampalone, I think that says, from across the pond. Teresa's here. Hello there, Teresa. Suzanne. Nicola's here. Weck. Hang on. I think I've gone a bit too far. No, I hadn't. Diane. Hello there, Diane. Spanner's here. Don't blame me. Julie called you it first. Hello there, Scarlett. So, Alicia Lacey, that's my granddaughter, but it's really Scarlett because she's been naughty and she shouldn't be on here. Marilyn's in Niagara. Marie. Diane. Nicola from Wales. Jeanette from Norway. Norvège. Jessica's back from the dark side. I hope you're feeling better, Jessica. You must let me know how you got on with your second. No, I'm not. No, you're not what? Scarlett. Is that actually Alicia? I don't know. It's one of the grandkids watching anyway. You must let me know how you got on with your second what's the word? I don't mean to say injection. What do I mean to say? Oh, right, it is Scarlett. I'm missing everyone saying hello. Hi there, Angie. And Lydia and Di. Oh, well done, Di. You managed to catch us in the end. I think you were on the last one anyway, but I think you were a little bit later. Grammy from Houston in Texas. Jab. Vaccination, that was the word I was looking for. Thank you. Watching you on my first baseball game of the season. Yeah, don't understand baseball. Okay, let me just get my camera set up a little bit better. I don't want to get me big fat belly in way. Oh, there's quite a lot of you joining us. This is good. No, I don't rock, Nancy. The journal rocks. Oh, you've got Alicia's phone. Yeah, I know you told us that before. Scarlett. You had your times mixed up. Just having me cup of tea. But I've got to just mind this wire that's trailing as well. The last thing I want to do is, yeah, it is like our rounders. Oh, see you, Scarlett. Bye. No, I don't rock. Hang on. That was my rock guitar, just in case you couldn't tell. Oh, thank you very much, Diane. That's very kind of you. Haven't even done anything yet. Okay, see you. Bye. Oh dear. I felt like rubbish for 2 days. Bless his heart had a minimal reaction, so I had a cabana boy for a couple of days. Can you send your cabana boy over to the UK so I could use him? Because I've got my second one coming up soon. And in fact, the first one made me quite ill. I was off it for like almost a week. So I'm kind of dreading I'm kind of dreading the second one, because if I had a reaction to the first one, I have a feeling I'm going to have a reaction to the second one. But we'll see. I've kind of written that week off. So the end of April, don't expect to see me. 2 more weeks for you, Maureen. Yeah, mine's something like, I think mine's the 25th of April. I think mine is. Hello there, Christina. Oh, thank you very much, Karen. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Tracy, could you keep a note for me again, please? Andy, thank you very much. Wow, thank you. You're all being very kind. Thank you very much. So, I haven't even done anything yet. Brilliant. Thank you, Tracy. Diane, I had my first shot this week. Headache for 2 days. Sore arm and tired as a rag. Yeah, I also had a dicky tummy too. So I had the headache. My arm was really sore. Felt totally washed out. And yeah, dicky tummy. But it's funny actually, because my mum had a dicky tummy too. Hello there, Sonia. This project has been fabulous. Thank you. You're very welcome, Karen. Actually, no, thank you. No, I've not started yet. I'm still too busy doing the old chat. Thank you very much, Angie. That's very kind of you. So those that are watching the replay later on, they'll be chuntering a bucket full going, come on, woman, crack on. Okay. Okay. It's the very last Rocky Journal. Can you believe it? Dun, dun, dun. And I'm going to talk to you today about the cover. Now, a few of you have... Thank you very much, Karen. She's all very kind of you. Thank you. A few of you have kind of mentioned... I'm not looking at chat now, by the way. So if you're saying anything, I'm not really looking. So hello, everyone else. A few of you have commented about it being really chunky. And mine is too. Really chunky. But I don't mind that. I don't normally particularly like massively chunky journals, but in this instance, because of what this was about and its contents and everything, I don't actually mind it being chunky. Now, if you want to take it apart and you want to make it into 2 or 3 signatures, that's entirely up to you. I'm not doing a tutorial on it. Not in this instance, because I'm sticking to mine as it is. So basically, mine's that chunky, and I've got about maybe 4 pages left to do. So by the end, it'll probably be a little bit like that. And as I say, I don't mind it being really chunky because of the context of the journal itself. But if you do want to split your pages up into 2 signatures, couple of things you need to think about. This does not have a spine apart from that centre fold down there. So if you're making it into a 2 or a 3 signature journal, you will need to have some kind of spine so that you've got the width to enable you to use or to attach the couple of signatures. The other thing that you'll need to be aware of, take into account when I found it, and it's not anywhere near there. Where's it gone? That's not what I'm looking for. Although that, no. Let me find the one I'm looking for. Just bear with me a minute. Oh, come on. Wherefore art thou, page? Wherefore art thou? Oh, blimey. Right, start again. Just talk amongst yourselves for just a second while I try and find it. It's there. So here I've got a double page spread, okay? And I ran my papers directly across from one to the other so that they actually overlap those 2 pages. If you've done that in your journal, you will need to take that into consideration when you're putting your pages back together to make them into 2 separate signatures. Okay, so you'll just need to be aware of those sorts of pages as well. Okay, now as I say, I'm leaving mine. I quite like this one all chunky because of the nature of it, but it does affect how I'm actually going to decorate this front cover. Because it is so chunky, it's made my cover quite bendy. Now I could open it up and put that face down on the flat surface. Okay, it's not entirely flat, but it's flatter than when it's actually a closed journal. All right, now for me to cover this with any kind of paper, it's still going to be a little bit on the fiddly side, so I decided to make it easier for myself. Now I am one of those people that why make hard work of a simple job. Okay, so what I've done is, or I haven't done anything yet, but what I'm planning on doing is I've got oh, didn't realise my address was on there. Hang on, let me just cover that over a minute. There we go. So I've got one of these please do not bend envelopes, and if we have a look at the back, it's got a piece of grey board on it. Now this is a fairly firm piece of card, so it's thicker than a cereal box, but there's no reason why you can't use a cereal box. Okay, so I'm going to take off the brown paper. And I'm going to keep the brown paper as well, because I could actually use that page, or use it as a page in a journal. And normally it comes off easier than this, but this one obviously does not want to play ball, because it's saying to itself, Carol's on a live YouTube, let's make it as difficult as possible for her boys. Yeah, okay, you're managing. There we go. So this I'll keep as a piece of paper that I can then use within my journal. Okay, so I would neaten that up and utilise that. Let me just pull some of these loose bits off just around the edge, so that I've got a nice neat edge to use. Now the reason why I'm doing it this way is it now also will give the cover a little bit of extra strength. Come on, up you come. Thank you. I do talk to inanimate objects, by the way, just in case you hadn't noticed previously. Okay, so you can use Amazon packaging, you know, just use what you've got. Ruler. There. Okay, so the width of my cover is 5 3/4 inches. Someone make a note. 5 3/4 inches. Oh, in fact. Come on, Carol, shape yourself, woman. Just write it down. 5 3/4 inches by 6 1/4. Okay, now I'm going to cut this so that it's 1/4 of an inch smaller than that actual measurement there. Okay, so then I end up with a small border all the way around of the original cover. So if I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch off this, then it's going to be 5.5 inches wide by 6 inches deep. And I want 2 of those, one for the back and one for the front. Okay. So 5.5. 5.5. Oh, I have to tell you, that's something that our American cousins do say, and it does get on my nerves. I know a word that'll get on your nerves, get on your nerves, get on your nerves. And that is 1/4. It's not 1/4, it's 1/4. Right, 5.5. So it's not 5.5 or 5 1/2. What did I say? By 6. By 6. Is that right? 5.5 by, yeah, that's right. 5.5 by 6. That don't look right. That's a square. Right on there. Oh, hang on. I've obviously measured wrong, haven't I? Oh, look. 8.25. What a Nelly. What a Nelly. So I'm only going to be able to do the front now. I'll have to get another bit of card in a minute. So 5.5. Didn't think it looked right. 5.5. What do you mean you hit the mute button? Whilst I did my fantastic singing there, Tracy. 5.5 by 8. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Oh well, got some spare bits of card there. Okay. What was that? From Claire, I use 1/2 and 4ths, but I teach math to fit maths. So that's another difference. You say math, we say maths. To 5th graders, so I'm a stickler for the correct use of fraction names. Good for you, Claire. So it's 1/4. Yeah, but Jessica, you didn't shout loud enough, did you? It's no good after the fact, is it? I mean, if you're going to shout across the pond, you're going to have to yell louder. Okay, now I'm going to cover this. And I'm going to cover it with some wrapping paper that I've got. If you have watched the first view of the compendium journal that I've been doing, the inside part, I did exactly the same thing, as in I cut a piece of board, I put a piece of felt on it, and then I covered it with fabric. So you could do that and cover it with fabric, but put a piece of felt on first. Go and watch the first video of the compendium journal where I show you how to do that. I don't need felt on this because I'm going to be putting paper on top, but it could be some sticky back plastic, a Blue Peter favourite, and if you're British you'll know what I mean by Blue Peter. So, you know, sticky back plastic. You could use your 12 by 12 paper pads. You could use your handmade papers, so you could use any of those. You could use wallpaper, but I'm going to use this. And I don't know whether you'll see it, but it's wrapping paper, but it's textured. So when I run my finger over it, I can actually feel the texture of this Fablon. I don't know, is it still called Fablon? Let me have a look on the back. Oh no, so this one's called DC Fix, not Fablon. Now, I have a feeling that I got this from Hobbycraft, but if I did, it will have been a while ago. that I got this. Now then, I've got a big bit of paper here and I haven't got enough space. So I'm just going to chop this out roughly. And I want it bigger than the piece of paper. Mind I don't chop that wire. Oh, me dibby dabby doobies come to join in. Okay, I'm just cutting this roughly for now, so that I've got a bit of room. I'm posh. Who's posh? Me's posh. Me's not posh. Okay, so I'm going to leave round about 1/2 inch, 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch on each side. So I'm going to stick this down on my paper first, and then I'm going to trim off the excess. So glue, 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 glue. Oh, another dibby dabby doobie. You stay there. What would us crafters do without cereal boxes? Well, we'd go hungry for a start because we wouldn't have the cereals to eat. But actually, on saying that, I can't eat cereals so much anymore. They're full of sugar, you know. Full of sugar. La da da dee. Oh, sorry, Tracy. Yes. Glue, Max. Not DST. Everyone will be going now, what's DST? Like I did this morning. Okay, just going to stick that down on there. And then trim off some of that excess. Now, if you're finicky about measuring, you can measure your piece of paper. Cut it on your trimmer if you want. I'm just cutting it freehand, as you just saw. Flatten it down on to the side. And then I'm going to fold over each of the 4 sides. And I can do this quite easily because this paper's quite thin. If you're doing it with wallpaper, you might need to use your bone folder to just crease it a little to get the creases. Okay, 4th one. Okay, so I've now got a little square in the corner. And I have 2 ways of doing this. One is to taper towards that corner. So I'll do that on this side. But I'm not doing it right. I'm not doing it up to the edge. Can you see that? I'm not doing it up to that corner of the card. I'm doing it slightly away from. Hope you can see that okay. You fold that back so the lighting's better. So I'm not doing that. Can you all see that? I'm doing it slightly away and taper, and then taper on that side. Okay. Now I've shown this before. If you have cut it too close to this corner, then you end up with a little bit of a gap showing. So what you can do is you can put that bit that you've just chopped off in there and then fold that back, and it just helps to cover over that corner a little bit. Okay. Or you can just cut straight across. Now again, I am not cutting right the way up to that corner. I'm going to be cutting it just slightly away, so that I've got that little tiny bit of space, so that when I fold it over, I end up with a nice mitered corner there. Okay. So then we can put some glue on that. In fact, I might need to get a new glue out because this is running a little bit on the short side. We'll do this one. that down. And then we'll do this one. Now, the other thing that you can do is when it comes to your cover, you could think about one of the techniques that you've used within your Rock Your Journal. For instance, the Zentangling, the inches, twinches and rinches. And I didn't mention the rinches before, but a lady did ask me if she could do rinches, and I said, well, it's your journal, you do as you wish. But rinches are 1 inch circles, 1 inch rounds. So that's a rinche. So you could do a series of inches to go on the front, which would look quite effective. Okay, so that's my piece now nicely covered. And then if I tip this over, oh, I'm still on, I think. My computer's just playing up, just bear with. There you go. Okay, so then that would then sit on that front there, and then I've got this little border all the way around, but now I've added this extra support to the front cover, so it makes this a lot stronger and firmer. So I don't want to stick that on, seeing as I haven't got a back piece. Yeah, I guess I can. And I need to clamp it down for a bit though. Let me just get another glue. Ooh, chucking it away. Let me just get another glue. Where did I put them? Oh, I know. Okay. And my horribly creaky chair. Now I'm going to have to clamp this in place to make sure that it keeps a nice contact with that front cover. And whilst I want to make sure that the corners are well covered in glue, I don't want actually 10 ton of glue on there because it will just ooze out. So just spread it about a little. And make sure that you've got plenty in the middle. Now, before you actually stick yours down, you might also want to consider what your closure is going to be. Now, I have to tell you, mine's not going to be affected by this, but you might want to add maybe seam binding to it first. Before you actually stick this down, you might want to add a hitch post to it before you stick it down. So give it a little bit of thought before you glue this front cover in place. Okay, now I'm just going to peg this down for a minute. I'll do one on each corner. Now obviously I can't peg down this side, so what I would probably do is once this is kind of this glue has just taken just a little bit, I would remove all the clips and the pegs and then sit it underneath a big heavy book. But again, I need to be careful because obviously there's all the pages inside. So I reckon that might do it. So let me just clear the decks of some of this. and I'll talk to you about a couple of other things whilst I'm just waiting for that glue to go off a little. I think that's okay, top and bottom. Okay, now, so if you imagine, once I've done that, I'm going to do another one on this side, okay? Oh, I'll come to that wax thread in a minute. I'll show you this tape. Now, let's have a slip of tea. I think, didn't I use the hitch post in the... Hang on, I'll just check. No, I didn't. I thought I'd used it on the compendium journal. There's a journal that I've just done recently. Who was asking? Can't remember. Oh, Artsy Ma. A hitch post is a metal post so that you can hook stuff over the top of it. But there is a video that I've done recently where I used the hitch post. Okay. This is tape that I've got off Amazon, and it was through watching a Nina Ribena video, and she'd used some, so I went on the search. So not in this video at the moment, because obviously it's a live, I can't add any links at the moment, but on previous videos, in the description box beneath the video, there's an Amazon affiliate link, and I've put this tape in there, and I've put it in because it's fabric. It's a fabric tape. Okay, so it's quite sticky. Okay, so, you know, it's got quite a strong stick on it, but I would still put glue on as well, but it's fabric. So, what I was thinking of doing is when I've put my other piece of board on this side, I'm going to use this tape to cover over this area here, and then that will give the stitches that I've added, it'll give that a bit of extra support. So that's lifting up a little bit, look. Ooh. Put you back there. Might have to fiddle with that in a minute. In fact, let me just move that and then I can show you. Now, the other thing is this wax thread that I used. It finishes here at the top, and I did a double knot and then I did a single knot. Now, the single knot keeps coming undone, but this particular thread is coated in wax. And one of the things that I found is if I heat this up with my heat gun, not a lighter, because I don't want to burn my cover, but with my heat tool, I just lightly heated it up and it melted the wax, which meant that that knot would then stay secure. I have then got these wooden beads, which I thought I could add onto these two strings that are hanging down the edge down here. So I might add some of those wooden beads, and the reason why I would use the wooden beads is because I'm going to use this as my closure. I have got, and I've shown this before in another video, I have got an alive big button. Now, this was a freebie on a magazine, so please don't ask me where I got it from, because this magazine will now not be available because it's a few years old, and I managed to get two. So I'm going to use this big button on the front here as my closure, and it means then I haven't got to do any other decorating on the front. So I'm going to use that. But what I'm going to do is I've got this other button which has got that kind of depth to it, and I'm going to stick that on the back, and then I'm going to stick the white button to the cover, because what it'll then do is it will leave that little bit of a gap between this big button and the surface of the cover. Okay, does that make sense for everyone? So it'll be sat like that, and there's a space under there. In fact, I might actually put it in the middle. Quite like that. Now then, I've also got some sari silk ribbons, threads, whatever you may so wish to call it. So on the back cover here, I'm going to add an eyelet, and I'm going to add some of this to the eyelet at the back. Can't show you because everything's all wet and it'll all just come apart. So then when, hang on, let me just, yeah, so that's lifting off, look. I need to really flatten that down to secure it. So when that is sat on the front, the ribbon will come from the back under here, and it will be 2 strands of, and then I'll wrap it round the button and just let it hang down. Okay, so then let's use that. So that will be attached on the back, and then this ribbon here I will wrap around underneath this button, wrap it around a couple of times, and then just let this thread just dangle down. Okay, so can you see that? Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with mine. Now, where'd that white button go? It's there. There's no reason why you can't use a smaller button, but again, you would need this size button and then a smaller one underneath it to be able to raise this button away from the front cover. So you could use a smaller button. You could also add some kind of a charm or metal dangle onto the end of the ribbons here, so that once it's wrapped around the button, you've got the weight of the metal bit pulling down on it. Okay, does that make sense for everybody? Let me just have a quick read. Yeah, I bet Natalie can't find it now. My husband does stage work and swears by gaffer's tape for everything. Who knows where it is? Christina's put, I love the huge button, maybe a tutorial on how to make one. Well, that's easy, you just cut a circle, poke 4 holes in it, Bob's your uncle. And I've done a button, how to make your own button video previously from Chipboard. I think it's in the embellishments playlist. Are you going to put the silk through the big button? No, Jessica. So this loopy bit will be through the eyelet on the back, and then the thread will come round to the front. The button will be sat there but raised up, so that thread will just be wrapped around the button and just left to dangle. Thank you very much, Diane. So Julie says it's clear. Maureen says yes it does. Jan says yes. Nicky the dog, yes. Wendy, yes. We got it, I think. I think Tyvek tape could do the fabric tape. You can use Tyvek if you want, but you need to paint it and all that sort of stuff if you want to have it sat on the top. Sima said perfectly clear, good. Where does the wax thread and beads come into play? So the wax thread was what I used to stitch the signature in place. If you're watching the earlier videos, Marilyn, I did a video on how to go about stitching your signature in place, and that was where I used the wax thread. No, I meant crisscrossed. Oh, sorry. Okay, yes, I will be, but I won't be using this stuff. I'll use some baking, oh, blooming neck. What's it called? Baker's twine. Butcher's twine. Carol, what is the second part after you say Bob's your uncle? Oh, it's Fanny. Fanny's your aunt. Bob's your Uncle Fanny's nose. Some of that stuff. Yeah, so I'll put it through the holes on the front of the button to make it look like it's stitched, yeah. Butcher, baker, candlestick maker. As I say, I'm a bit stumped to show you any more on that cover at the moment because I need this to stick. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go to this next bit. And you never know, this might have dried enough for me to show you. But I can see that I need to do something about this edge here because it's not curling round easily enough. So I'll leave that at the moment, and we'll see if the rest of it sticks, and then we'll come back to it. So at this point, you might need a pen and paper to make a note of a few things. So I'll wait here, have a slurp on my cup of tea, whilst you all bob off, and go and get pen and paper. Oh, sorry, Tracy, I'm going to sing. Might whistle. La-da-dee-da-dee. Happy as can be. Oh, good fun and jolly good company. Let's tell you what, let's use that now. Don't want that colour. Just whilst I'll well, I was trying to, Tracy, I was trying to. Just whilst I'm waiting for you lot to come back with your paper and pen, I'll just do this and stick my other button on. Oh, I wanted to go that one. Why do the stars go on shining? Oh, why do the stars fill my heart? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye. Oh, I don't know if I like it. No, I don't like it. I'm going to leave it. It don't look right. Okay, I'm going to stick this button on the back. I'm going to use my glossy accents. Yeah, I was dragged up on all those old songs. My dad loved his music. I mean, you know how we used to take the top 40 when we were little, you know, waiting there at the end to like press the stop button before he started talking, and we never got it. Yeah, my dad used to take the whole of the top 40. He had loads of cassettes with, oh heck, I don't want that. With all of that on. He loved the Goon Show as well, so he'd recorded all of the Goon shows. Obviously he had loads of LPs, he had loads of 75s, 45s, then CDs. I mean, he really loved his music. So we were dragged up on music. So it's got to a point now where you only have to say a few words and I can make a song out of it, more often than not. Right, I'm going to let that button stick, and I'm going to leave my journal over there to dry. And oh, what's that? White would be nice. What was that about, Wendy? No, I'm going to leave it without. Right, let me move them. Okay, that very first page that I said Don't do anything on it, Tracy. Natalie. Because I know that they haven't done that. So if you haven't left a page in your journal, and you might want to do it on a separate piece of paper anyway, because of the chunkiness of the journal, it's going to be hard to write on, and then glue that in. Or you can do it as a tip-in, or a flip, or a flap. It's up to you. I know. Tell them, Maureen. Tell them. See, they're naughty. And I wanted you to use that page to do this. Okay? So I wanted you to put your name in there. I wanted you to write a little bit about your project. So you could say, excuse me, that this was Rock Your Journal. Oh, excuse me, I've got the burpingtons. The date that you started it, the date that you finished it. You could do a little bit of an explanation about the project if you wanted to. I wanted you to write about your favourite page and why it was your favourite. Your least favourite page, and I know which the majority of are going to put, and I want to talk to you about that in a minute. Your least favourite page and why. What did you learn most about A, the project, and B, yourself? So as you were going through all of this, what did you learn along the way? Okay, was there a specific technique that you hadn't done before, that you hadn't seen before, and you had to go at doing it and you either hated it or loved it? All those sorts of things. But more importantly for me was, what did you learn about yourself? Now, I want to talk to you about a couple of those things. One is that on the Facebook group, there have been that many pictures going up of the pages that everyone has created. I have actually stopped commenting on all of them. Two reasons why. One, time, but also I was getting to a point where I didn't feel that my comment was expressing how I felt enough. And I felt that I was coming out with all these superlatives to the point that they kind of sounded false, even though they weren't. And so I decided to stop commenting on them, because I'm going to put a post up tomorrow about it. Because they've been amazing. There have been a few, I've not enjoyed doing this. There's been a few of those. And I think there's been quite a few people have been surprised at how their imagination has worked through some of these pages. I think they've surprised themselves that they've been able to create something quite as beautiful as they have done. I think that there's been quite a few people who have done that. Because some of the pages are just, they're bloody marvellous, is all I can say. And I can't write that on every single post in the Facebook group. Bloody marvellous, bloody marvellous, bloody marvellous, bloody marvellous. No, can't do that. So that was the first thing that I am hoping that a lot of people have learnt from doing this project, is that they are far more capable than they probably realise. I think there's been quite a few that have really enjoyed doing it. They might have been slightly disappointed with this or slightly disappointed with that, and that's to be expected. And especially with, like, if you're doing the Zentangling, if you've never done it before, don't expect perfection first time round. If you think back to your younger days, when you first started cooking, that first cake that you ever made, did it turn out right? Because I bet you £1 to a pinch of salt, it didn't. I bet you it took a couple of tries at making it to get it right. You know, when you think about when you did your first fry up, getting the timing right on a fry up, doing your bacon, your sausage, your egg, your beans, your tomatoes, your hash browns, your black pudding. When you think about the time scale to cook all of those so that they all end up on the plate hot, it takes practice to get that right. And it's exactly the same with journal making, with art, with anything that you create. You're not going to be good at it to start with. And if you think that you are going to be good at it, then you're very much mistaken, and you're putting yourself way above your station, is all I can say. So be prepared to take time to learn something, take time to practice, all right? So if there was something within your journal that you didn't like, have a practice. Don't criticise yourself for it. Practice it and then have another go. You know, it's only through that repetitive practice that you get to find out whether it's something that you're going to enjoy doing or whether you don't. Okay? Now, least favourite page and why. Now, I have to tell you that I know which page the vast majority will write for that one. And the reason why I know, because enough of you moaned about it, which is very naughty of you, because you shouldn't moan. You should either leave it, come back to it, but don't moan about it. But from that video onwards, the viewers dropped by 1,000. So I was doing like 2,000 views up to this one particular video, and then the viewing numbers dropped by 1,000 because everyone went, I'm not answering that. Can't think of anything. And I think you all know which one I mean. Let me just find mine. That one. Okay? Write 5 things that you like about yourself. I was so disappointed and upset, not from my point of view, but from your point of view, that you struggled to find 5 nice things that you could say about yourself. I thought that that was extremely sad, that you couldn't find 5 nice things to say about yourself. And I know, and I'm not looking at the comments at the minute, but I will have a look in a minute. I know that some of you, because you've told me, went and asked husbands, partners, friends. I think it is so sad that we can't give that much love to ourselves for 5 things. And that really upset me. For a couple of days after I'd done this particular prompt, I sat in my bedroom and I didn't cry, but I did feel the weight of what everyone was saying about, oh, I can't do that, oh, I'm not doing that, because they couldn't say 5 nice things about themselves. And I think that that's partly to do with what's been happening with COVID, with being locked up, and also how we've been brought up throughout our lives about how we think about ourselves. Now, I'm not saying that I found it easy, because I could have said, I've got great legs. I used to have, but I don't now. I like my hair, although I don't like the fact that it's now gone grey. I used to like my smile, but my teeth have gone. I've put on loads of weight, so, you know, I can't say I've got nice eyes anymore because they're a bit piggy. But there are still things within myself that I could pick out. And I found that, as I say, so sad. So sad. And I hope that you can find it within yourselves to find those nice things about yourselves. You deserve to think those 5 nice things about yourself. And maybe we should be telling each other more often about those things that we like about each other. Too much negativity in the world these days. Oh, thank you very much. Who's that? Abcynthia. Thank you very, very much. That's very kind of you. So, yeah, that bothered me, did that. So I know that quite a few of you will pick this one out as the page that you didn't like doing. But yeah, lots more love needs to be going round. And lots more love when you look in that mirror as well and think, do you know what? I'm not a bad person, me. I'm actually quite a nice person. And that's good. And I've shared, you know, this and I've done that and I've helped people out. And thank you very much, Kath. I think that's Kathleen. Yeah, Kathleen, thank you very much. Yeah, I think there needs to be a lot more of that. So use that first page to do some of that, you know, put a thumbprint on it, cut out a lock of your hair, stick that on, so it's proof that it's you. Okay, let me undo this and we'll see. We'll see if we can have a go at doing this closure. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, fiddle-a-diddle-a-dee. Okay, let me undo this and then I'll tell you why I can't do it. I need another one of these, but on the back, because I want to punch a hole. I need to move that one out of the way, and I want to punch a hole on there to put my metal eyelet on, and I can't put my metal eyelet on until I've got that back cover piece on. So we'll have to pretend. I'll have to pretend that I've done that bit, okay? And so that will then sit on there. And as I say, I think I'm going to sit it in the middle. But can you see that gap that is between the button and the front cover? Thank you very much, Claire. That's very kind of you. Yeah, keep it to yourself, Nico. Because it's a difficult one to cover, because it also depends where you are mentally in your life too, and if you've got stuff going on in your life, you know. Yeah, mental health is a difficult one. Self-appreciation is also difficult too. Okay, I'm going to stick that on there. I'm going to use my glossy accents again. I'm going to put it on liberally. Liberally. Thank you very much, Ully. That's very kind of you. You've all been lovely to me tonight. Thank you. Okay, that's going to stick on there. I just need to hold that for a minute. Has anyone got any questions that they would like to ask me with regards to this part of it? When I am out and see someone who has a nice dress or shoes or hairstyle, I always try to say something. Too many people only hear negative things. This is very true, Jessica. I struggled with this prompt. My dad told me when I was 8 that I just happened before his sons he needed were born. Yeah, you see, people come from that kind of background which affects us as adults. So, you know, we've all got history, and I know that some of that history can affect our outlook on ourselves. But I think there's also a point where it becomes, you know what, I have to push that to one side. I have to forget that was ever said to me, because my value is more than that. But, you know, mental health, historical backgrounds, they have a lot to play on. What glossy accents works as a glue? Oh, hang on. Wait, glossy accents works as... Oh yeah, I use the glossy accents to use it on metal normally. Thank you very much, Cynthia. That's really kind of you. Thank you. It did make me sad though. It did make me sad. I put 20 things about me. Now that's just being greedy. It always makes me sad though when I see friends who find it hard. Thank you, Wendy. You know, and I think with all that we've been going through with COVID and stuff, it's easier to sink back down into that hole. So, you know, push yourself up. Push yourself. What is it? Hang on. Tits forward, bum stuck out, go for it. Whenever I was feeling down, I always used to say that to myself. Right, stick that out, stick that there, and let's go. Okay, so I'm going to stick my big button on the front there. It's still sticking, so it'll take a little while. And as I say, I can't add... I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use one of the... I'm going to use one of these orangey ones because it'll go nicely with the peachy colours. But this is a short piece that's already cut, so we'll use that as the example. So if you imagine I've got my backing board on and I've punched my eyelet hole on and that's on there, and then I've poked that through the hole, fed it back on itself, and that is then attached to there. So in fact, let's just peg that in place for now. Right now, we'll clip it. Okay. Oh, see, oh, it's not stuck yet. It's going to take a while for that to stick. And then this thread, or this ribbon, will come around the front, and then I will wrap it around the button. Got to be careful that I don't pull it under too far. I don't want it to get stuck in the glue. Come on. Round you come. So that will go around there and again, and then I shall leave these loose bits hanging down at the front. So that's what it will look like. Okay, you never know, I might add a few things up here, might add something on the corner. But the best thing that you can do now is wait until I've finished mine, and then I will do a final flip through so that you will be able to see it all absolutely complete. Now, before I go, well, that's not going to work. Let me stick that upside down. Before I go, tomorrow, Max, who is the moderator one of the moderators on the Facebook group, she is starting a challenge tomorrow, which will go on for a week. So if you finished your journal or you're not doing the journal, you might want to start to work on something. So you could follow along with the challenge that Max is setting up on group. She's done some great videos and taken photographs of things. So there's that to look forward to. And that's Max now saying hi on chat. I will be starting a new challenge each week on YouTube for everyone to join in, and I will add the links on the Facebook group as well. So that will be a new weekly challenge. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, and that will start sort of next weekend. The other bit of news is on Wednesday, which is what I'm going to be working on tomorrow. But on Wednesday, we are going to have a live auction of a few of the journals that I've made, to give everyone a chance to buy some of the journals that I've done. So that will be on Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock. Thank you very much, Nancy. That's very kind of you. So that's this coming Wednesday at 7 o'clock on the Facebook group. It's not going to be on YouTube. It's just going to be on the Facebook group. If you join the Facebook group, how many questions do you have to answer to be able to join? Because there's still a lot of people who don't know. Does anyone know the answer to that? How many questions? See, they all know. Yep, so apparently there's still a lot of people who don't know that. They can't read the fact that there's 3 questions to answer, which just blows our minds. And that you need to scroll down to see those 3 questions. So anyway, please, because we've got a load of people sat there waiting to join because they haven't answered the 3 questions. They just thought, sod it, we're not doing it. I'm not going to add you. So if you think you're going to get away with it and I'll just add you, I won't. So there's that. What else was I going to tell you? We'll be starting the new Rock Your Journal in April. Well, end of March, beginning of April. And then the other thing is that we will be coming out of lockdown shortly in the UK. So there will not be a pop-up shop during March. The journal sale is going to be a little bit of an alternative for the pop-up shop for March, but there will be, or hopefully, as long as we're not on lockdown again, there will be a new pop-up shop starting in April. The same as Fairy Wishes will also start in April as well on the Facebook group. Okay. Right, that's me kind of done for now. As I say, the next time you see this is when I will do the flip through of it all. I'm just going to turn the camera around, so if you've got wobbly eyes, look away now. Okay. There we go. Ooh. Ooh, bright sunlight. Pop-up shop, so basically once a month, this is how it used to work. Once a month on the Facebook group, I would sell an array of materials for journals. I've now changed it to pop-up packs, so it will, that's my chicken, look, sat on the side there, waiting for me to cook for my dinner. I'm now doing a series of pop-up packs, so it's like a complete pack of all sorts of odds and sods, or stuff that's related to making a specific journal. So, and that's on the group normally once a month, so you place an order, I then tell you how much it's going to cost, and then I send it to you. But obviously with postage the way it's been, selling to abroad is proving a little bit so it's taking a lot longer to get abroad than it used to. But anyway, hey ho, such is life at the moment. My hair's up because I've not washed it, so I thought, you know what, we'll just clack it up. But I wanted to come on to say thank you so much for joining me throughout this journey. It's a shame that quite a few people dropped out about halfway through, so I hope that you'll go and tell them all what they've missed. Go and share with everyone pictures of your beautiful work that you've been doing, because that helps me out enormously too. Thank you for all your lovely comments on the YouTube videos. They've been really appreciated, because there have been days where I felt quite crappy, and they've really lifted my spirits up, because obviously I've been locked up in my house for a long time. So I have my down days just the same as everyone else. So thank you so much for the really lovely comments. Some of them have made me chuckle, I have to say. Thank you to everyone that's done the donations. I mean, you've just excelled yourself today in particular. So thank you so much for that. And for those that have donated money previously as well, thank you. So all that's left to say is, ta-ra a bit, go and finish off rocking your journal. Enjoy. I'll see you all again really soon.